Good afternoon, hello, my name is Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. At the time of recording, 4 weeks today, I'll be in Llanberis, getting ready to start the brutal, extreme, full distance triathlon, which will be tomorrow in 4 weeks. No pressure. So realistically, I've got 2.5 to 3 weeks of training left, and I'm really ramping it up now. I'm training hard, I'm training more than I've trained all year. Touch wood, I'm injury free, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm not going crazy, I'm doing quite a bit. So a bit of a recap for the last few days. Struggled a bit midweek, to be honest. Quite stressed in general, and that affects me quite a lot body wise, as it does with a lot of people. A couple of days I've been in the office, so I had longer days and it's not as easy to get as much training in, and you know what, it just means I have to adapt to it. So Wednesday I ran and cycled, but the cycle in the evening was not good. I felt empty. Yesterday was Thursday. I only swam in the evening. It is quite an intense swim session at the Ash Turner Swim School, which is good. I felt like I'd messed the fueling up. I had like a 2/3 of the day meeting and it overran, and I had lunch dead late, and it just, I don't know, I felt like it knocked me back a bit. And after the warm up in the swim, I had 2 chews, like 40 grams of carbs, just to try and get like some energy in me. I did feel better after that. I've got an okay swim session done, but I started getting cramped quite a lot as well, but it doesn't like me. But anyway, so today's Friday. Now looking ahead to the weekend, in true weekend warrior fashion, well, that's when I do the bulk of my training. So therefore Friday doesn't need to be absolutely nuts, but the weather's good. I've got a club chain gang tonight, so like I need to still do some stuff. So today's just going to be a 45-minute run, nice and steady. My running this year has been the most intermittent of all my training due to injuries, but in the last 3 to 4 weeks I've really got into a groove with it. Last week was my first 30-mile week in, well, this year. I'm going to try for the next 3 weeks to run 30 miles a week, and about 40% of that is on the long run at the weekend. So like 3 runs in the week, between like 30 and 40 minutes, 1 long run at the weekend, and that's pretty much it. Now, something I've changed for today is I've actually got some new trainers on. I'm not a fan of changing things, you know, in the lead up to an event. All it is they're exactly the same trainers as what I was training in before. In fact, I've actually had them for months, all at the same time, but I've just, you know, started using them. And the only reason I've gone to these, I think my old ones are knackered. Let me know down below in the comments, what do you do about trainer rotation for training? Last year, when I was running a lot more, I tended to have a pair in the car from when I ran from work 3 times a week, and then a pair at home that I ran from home 2 or 3 times a week. And every 6 months, I'd buy new ones, you know, 2 pairs. Whereas this past year, I've hardly been running, so I bought 2 pairs at the beginning of the year, like I normally do, but then I've just ran in 1 pair all year. I've not done many back-to-back days, not done big runs or anything, so I've just had, you know, 1 pair being used. But I checked on my Strava mileage to date running for this year, and it's at about 360. I've done predominantly almost all of them in those trainers. So I put my other pair on today, and they feel night and day different. You don't notice that gradual deterioration until you put some new ones on. So now I put these on, I'm like, wow. I don't even care, it's not about speed, it's about reducing that impact and hopefully reducing that injury risk. So I'm going to use these ongoing, and I'm also going to order a new pair so that I can start alternating, because like today, I'm running today, then I'm long run tomorrow. I don't want to run in the same shoes on back-to-back days. Generally runners are, you know, quite light, and people still are careful about training rotation. I'm 100 kilos, right? So when I'm running, like the impact those shoes are taking, it's quite high. It takes a while for all that foam to re-expand again. So I'm just going to really pay attention to that over the next few weeks as I'm, you know, been increasing the volume. Anyway, I'm coming up to this big hill, so I'm going to get up the hill, and then I'll perhaps talk a bit more about what the next 3 weeks are going to look like, because I've got it mapped out. Okay, so 3 weeks of training to go. What's it going to look like? Well, I suppose now's a good time to say I'm not coached for triathlon. I don't have any coaches or mentors or anything like that, officially anyway. I was coached, I'm not now. There's no drama, there's no thing that's happened early this year. I just basically wasn't training, you know, for several months at a time. It just felt like a waste of money to be spending money on a coach and not really doing anything that he said. Coach was great, but it just, you know, it wasn't really any purpose. Now, as it happens, within about 8 weeks of finishing that, I've then, you know, come out the other side and been able to start training. But again, to be honest, I feel like because of where I'm at and because of what I've done in the past, it's not the best value for me to be spending money on that at the minute. So with that said, I know that I'm not like a scientific training expert, but I have done triathlon for about 10 years now, done multiple Ironmans, etc. Like, I know what I did to be in good shape for those, so therefore I've got all that knowledge and experience from that. That's basically what I'm applying, and I think you might know what it's like in the endurance sports world. There's not really that many secrets, or if there are secrets, the secrets are there for that last 1%, not for the 95% that I'm trying to work towards now. So, swimming, what am I doing? Well, for the last few weeks I swam twice a week. That is not going to change until the week after next. For 2 weeks I'm going to swim 3 times a week, and that extra swim is not going to be any intervals. So I do one long steady swim on a Monday, which I've been getting up to 3k now. Pool's only open for an hour, so I'll just cram in an hour, and 3k is about as much as I can cram in. Thursday I do an interval session with Ash's swim squad. My extra swim is going to be, because I've got a bit of time off work, I'm going to get an open water swim in during the days when I wouldn't normally be able to, and that's going to be my longer swim for the week as well. More than anything, it's just, you know, swimming in a wetsuit, sighting, using the goggles, swimming in open water, putting a swim cap on so I don't wear one in the pool, all those sorts of things, just doing that bit more race specific prep. On the bike, this is the area I feel the most experienced in. I've raced, I've triathloned, I've time trialed. Cycling got me into triathlon. Like, I feel like I've got, you know, quite a bit of knowledge and experience about training for cycling. And then right now, it's hard mentally sometimes to motivate yourself to train. So I really try and make sure that my hard interval sessions and my long rides, I'm trying to do with other people. Even if that means that it's not ultra specific, it happens and I get it finished. So my weekly rota has been ride as much as I can, other than a Wednesday night I do the club ride, which has got some intensity in, about 2 hours or so, and I just ride hard for that time. The only other intensity I'm doing is the Friday night chain gang. Sometimes it's a through and off, sometimes it's a chain gang, depends who turns up as to how hard it is, but I use it as a good workout, and that's my only intensity for the week. And I'm then doing a specific long ride on a Sunday. That's when I've got most time, and BikeFit Dan's been lending his hand to be my training partner. I've been doing between 6 and 7 hours. Zone 2, that's what the effort's going to be for the race. Fueling, eating and drinking the stuff I'm going to be using, riding on hilly routes, and just treating it like it's the bike leg of the brutal. The only thing that's going to change with that over the next couple of weeks is that as I'm going to have more time on my hands, like a Monday ride, instead of being 2 hours, I'm trying to get out on the day for 3 or 4. So my overall volume will be, you know, a bit higher for the week. I'm hoping to do like 15 to 20 hours a week on the bike. I've been around 10 to 13 the last few weeks, and I've been feeling quite tired from it, to be honest. So I'm going to play it on my ear, but that's the plan. The only other bike specific thing, which is quite a big thing, is the actual bike. I've been building a Canyon Ultimate for the last few weeks. I have now accepted or begged some outside assistance to get it finished because I was not going to be able to get it built. I'm going to get it back 3 weeks before the Brutal, and I'm going to ride it like exclusively during that time, because I need to be sure that it fits me right, that nothing's going to fall off of it, that it's all ready to rock and roll. Because if there's any doubt, I will just ride my enduro race that I know is suitable and is fine, but I would rather ride a new bike that's got disc brakes, bigger tyres, etc. Finally, the running, and that is the only discipline that's in triathlon, those three. Don't talk to me about gym and strength and conditioning and stuff. Just more of the same, to be honest. I'm not doing any intervals or any workouts. I'm just that worried about getting injured. I think there's no point this close to the event now, 3 weeks of training. Like, I'm not going to gain much for doing those sorts of things. But when I do my normal run routes, like I'm doing hilly runs at the weekend, great. Hilly runs during the week, also great. But like that hill I've run up today, stats on screen by the way, it's like a 5-minute threshold effort. So I believe I am doing like interval training, but it's just unstructured. So I think I'm covering a lot of bases in terms of zones. So that's the plan, 30 miles a week. Hopefully that's going to see me right. And yeah, follow my Strava for all the training. I'm going to be documenting it on here as well. So 3 weeks of training to go. Let's go.